Well, ahoy there, mateys, and welcome to the Publix Gasparilla Distance Classic Show. I am Fitz Koehler. I'm your very noisy race announcer for this weekend and host of our show, and I am chomping at the bit to get back to Tampa to all of you because over the past 2 years, I've had a heck of a lot of fun with you. You show up with such big spirits and you're willing to have fun. And I love all the pirate gear. And boy, can some of you run really fast. And we like that. I particularly love the really slow walkers, but whatever, you're all tops in my book. Tonight's show, we are going to talk about everything you need to know to make the best of race weekend. And a couple things. We've got a lot going on. We've got 4 races, multiple challenges. There's our mascot, Pepper Jack, running around. There's strollers, there's awards, and there's beer. And there's a great expo. And we want you to be able to participate in everything. So please pay attention tonight. This show will be available for replay. You can watch it 10 times between now and race weekend. You can watch it nonstop. It's totally up to you. But know that we're going to cover all the bases tonight. Also, the website, rungasparilla.com, is jam-packed with everything you need to know. So if you have a question, the answer is there. Now, I'm going to bring on the queen of the Publix Gasparilla Distance Classic. But before I do, know that she is a very busy race director. And as a kindness to her, she hasn't asked me to do this. I do this for all my race directors. But look for the answers before you email her, because she's going to be putting out fires and doing a lot of big work to take care of this race weekend. So look for the answers before you email. And with that being said, and then use the comments section to ask your question, leave your comments. And first question for you is, please tell us what races you're running this weekend. And I'm going to introduce our race director, Susan Harmeling.
Hey.
Hi, Susan. How you doing?
I'm good. Considering we're 5 days out, I think we're all doing pretty darn great.
Susan, how many years have you been doing this?
This is my 31st, and if you look very closely, you'll see the gray hairs that are peeking out to show it's been 31 years. But what an awesome opportunity I've had for all these years to reach out and touch all these folks and give them the best that we can so that they can have a good time.
Yeah, you put on one heck of a show. What is your favorite part of race weekend?
It's being able to, obviously I, as the race director, I'm involved in just about every aspect of it, but being able, I've always said, if I've done my job properly, then race weekend, I can just kind of sit back and do my thing, driving the lead vehicle, and enjoy all the sights and the sounds and be there for the runners if they need anything. So I think the entire weekend from beginning to end, just watching it unfold and seeing the smiles and the tears and the happiness, the passion that everybody has for what we do, it warms my heart every year, and the hearts of those that work with me to plan the event.
Well, you know what? I think the best people in the world are at our race weekends. They're coming out for their own health, for these great causes, for their community. It's just the best of the best. If we can make the whole world look like the group that shows up on race day, we'd probably fix most of the problems in the world, don't you think?
We're making people better and giving them opportunities to better themselves. And I always say we're in the business of touching lives and making memories. And that's truly what our goal is race weekend.
Well, you do a heck of a job. Okay, so we've got a lot to cover because you have so much going on. And I really enjoyed seeing it last year. 2 years ago, I announced the hybrid event for you, which was brilliant and an absolute blast. For those who missed out on it, you missed out on something special. But last year, I got to see all 4 races, so many moving parts, and it's like clockwork. It really is one heck of a show. Is that beep from you or me?
No, it was for me. And you know what? I'm not good at this, so I don't know how to silence it. So y'all are just going to have to put up with me for a minute. I'm sorry.
That's okay. If it happens again, I'll give you a moment to try to, calm your notifications.
Okay.
You're popular.
All right.
Okay. So I want to start at the start, but
my stars. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Are you on a Mac?
I am. Can you tell me what to do?
Yeah, in the top right corner, move your cursor up to the top right corner. You'll see two little lines on top of each other. If you click that, it should allow you to turn your notifications off.
Are you there?
I am here, yeah. So do not disturb. Do you see that? Uh-oh, I think she muted me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. All right.
We're just going to have to, I apologize. We're just going to have to put up with it because I don't know what to do,
All right.
Fitz.
That's just fine. That's fine. You know what to do in the important parts of this weekend. So the beeping's fine. So I'd like to go in order. And so runners, this is where I want you to bear with me. When you ask questions, if you can ask questions while we're broaching that subject, that'll help me so I don't have to go backwards. I'm in charge of comments. I'm going to do my best, but I'd like to start at the start and go through. So quickly, before we get to the first event, tell me about your big sponsors. Just give them a big shout out because I know they've invested.
Well, of course. I mean, it goes without saying that that Publix, being our title sponsor, the Publix Gasparilla Distance Classic Association, they provide us with so much more than just what they're required to. This year in particular, they're responsible for our awesome finishers towels, the orange running caps that folks are going to be getting that are registered participants. It just goes on and on. Publix cares so much, about the community as a whole, but about our community. You know, Fitz, I just don't know what to do about this.
That's okay. Do you also have an iPhone?
I do.
You know how to turn the notifications off on your iPhone, your Moon?
I'm just going to turn it off.
Okay.
Okay, y'all bear with me. I'm a much better race director than I am a technology person.
That's great. You know, we have some great comments coming in. We've got Kathy Cornish says it's her favorite race. Chris, long time. There you go. Half marathon. I love the pirate medal. So I'm down with you, Chris. And he's talking about the misters on the course. We are running in Florida. So we're going to talk about the temperature soon, but yeah, you're well prepared for all of this stuff. So Publix, and then you have a few other sponsors you'd like to give a shout out.
Well, we have our new media partner this year, ABC Action News, and they joined us in October, and I'm announcing tonight. Nobody knows this. They are going to be providing a live stream from our finish line throughout all of the races on Saturday and Sunday morning. So, folks that are not with us, family members, friends that can't be there race weekend, they can actually tune in on their website, on their app, and we're going to be releasing the information tomorrow about how you can download their app and have access to it. But complete, 100% live streaming from beginning to end, and then our participants can go back afterwards. They're going to save the stream in 5-minute increments. Okay. So the participants will be able to find themselves when they're crossing the finish line and save that to share with folks.
That's fantastic. That's actually really innovative. We don't have that at many other races.
It's exciting. It's exciting because we've never been able to do anything like this. And also, this is not sponsor oriented, but we're going to have a mascot race this year. So in between the 15K and the 5K, the Tampa Bay Lightning's Thunderbug, Plato the Plebosaurus, and Tony the Tiger, and then Petey the Pelican from a race, the St. Pete Beach St. Pete Run Fest over in St. Pete. They're going to be with us and having a mascot race, and we're fixing it so Pepper Jack can win. But we're hoping that Pepper Jack will cross the finish line first.
That's right. I like how you're outing yourselves. We're going to fix the race. I'm pretty sure we do that in St. Pete.
Don't tell anybody. Yeah.
That's okay. That's such a fun ad. Such a great spectator sport, having those mascots run. A really cool time. All right. So we're going to jump into the running portion. I'd like to start with on February 23rd at 6 p.m. we have a shakeout run.
Okay. Tell me about that. Yeah.
Yeah. At Fat Rabbit Pub. And that's open to everybody, correct?
You know what, Fitz? This is news to me. I know nothing about that.
Oh, well,
someone out there must be scheduling that, and they didn't tell us about it. So tell me more.
It's on the website. So
is it on Facebook?
I haven't seen it on Facebook, but it's on rungasparilla.com. It says shakeout on February 23rd at 6 p.m. at Fat Rabbit Pub. So it must be true, right?
Well, if it's on our website, as the race director, I'm not really sure how it got there, but
Okay.
maybe somebody has created an event that we're unaware of. That happens sometimes.
Okay. All right. Well, check into that before you go over there and then yell at me. So shakeout is a maybe, but if you do go to the shakeout, don't run too hard. That's usually I tell people run as far as you can, as fast as you can, but that's hogwash. That's hogwash. Let's start with the expo on Friday morning. Where is it? What time does it start? What can we expect at the expo?
The ABC Action News Health and Fitness Expo, presented by Tampa General Hospital this year, will be at the Tampa Convention Center in the East Hall upstairs. It opens up bright and early on Friday morning, the 24th at 10 a.m. It'll be open until 8 p.m. And then again, very early on Saturday morning, because we know folks need to get lined up for the 15K and the 5K. It opens at 6 and it'll be open until 3 o'clock. And the Cigna Health Improvement Tour is going to be there. They'll be doing screenings, health screenings, talking to folks about their health and their well-being. We're going to have 2 pickleball courts again this year, which we're super excited about. We've only had one in the past, and they've been so popular that we've made room for 2. Furman Automotive will be there with some of their tricked out Jeeps and great 2023 vehicles, both electric as well as regular vehicles. It's a fun time to come and see all of the vendors. The latest health and wellness vendors will be there, as well as some others and samples. If it's free, it's for me. And there will be a lot of sampling going on at the expo. Publix is going to be sampling Greenwise smoothies, as well as a few other things. Pepper Jack is going to be there. Of course, Meb Kefleski will be there, our resident Olympian. That I call the Pied Piper of running, and actually, Fitz, you and Meb are going to be appearing at the expo 3 times together, so we're super excited about that as well.
Yeah, Meb's an absolute running icon, so it'll be a pleasure to spend that time with him. So, folks, everyone's welcome to the expo. The expo is free to attend, and you can bring friends and family and neighbors. This is something where we want people to show up and do some shopping and learn about our event. There's still registrations available for all events, correct, Susan?
Correct. For the 15K and 5K, and also the half marathon and 8K, we do have some limited number of registrations together that are available. The 15K and 5K, you can register all the way up till 8 o'clock on Friday night. It will close when the show closes on Friday, but then you can register for the half marathon and 8K all the way till 3 o'clock the next day.
Yeah, and online registration is officially closed right now,
correct?
Last
night. Yes, ma'am. It's all closed, and we're buttoned up and in assigning the final race numbers of those people that registered for the last few weeks. Tomorrow morning, we'll be sending out a blast that will have a link so everybody can look up their number, and some other valuable information will be included as well.
Fantastic. So I always like to talk to the lowest denominator, someone who's never run a race before, never been to Tampa before. The main intention of showing up at this expo, folks, is to pick up your race bib, which is a number you'll wear to prove you're registered. And you'll also grab your shirt. Do people need to bring their identification?
They do not. We've never required that. If they just show up and want to pick up their bib number, they know what their bib number is. We're going to provide it for them. And if for some reason they have a friend or a family member that can't make it to the expo, we have a bib authorization pickup form on our website that can be completed. So another individual can pick up a packet for someone else. Now, if that happens, we're going to have that person sign for that race number, just in case the individual shows up and we don't have their number.
Okay. So yeah, you'll be picking up your race bibs, and then the shirts are there. Now, tell us about the swag, because you always have fantastic swag.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it this year. We've got some colors that we've never had before for our race shirts, and the designs are all unique. Each event, 15K, the 5K, the half marathon, and the 8K, all have unique designs, unique colors. And then our finishers medals, they're amazing. We've already kind of touched on the half marathon finishers medal a little bit. It's a little bit bigger and brighter this year than it has been in previous years. We do our best to kind of go a notch higher every year with our medals, and it's with the the skull with the hen's jaw on it, it can be a little bit of a challenge. But I think we've done a good job in 2023. Glitter is all over the place. All of our medals have glitter, so they're really flashy. And again, the finisher's towels that you're going to get when you cross the finish line, the running hats that Publix is giving to our participants this year. The reusable shopping bag is bright and orange and has pepper jack all over it with pepper jack's tail feathers. I tell you, when the race is over, if someone is wearing one of our shirts or carrying one of our goodie bags, people are going to know where they've been, and that's very exciting.
Yeah, very identifiable branding. And what about the challenge athletes? What will they receive?
Well, the challenge athletes, again, are going to get a challenge jacket depending upon which of the challenges that they do. This year, we went with a lighter version because, okay, we live in Florida. And it seems like our weather is getting hotter and hotter by the year. So this particular jacket is a little bit lighter and can be worn more often without getting too warm. So we're pumped about that. But the designs are still just as amazing as ever, with sublimation on the sleeves, the tail feathers, sublimation on the back of the jacket. When we send out our runner instructions in a couple of days, examples of everything is going to be in there so folks can see it. And of course, we have 4 challenges: the Michelob Ultra, which is all 4 races; the Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, which is the 15K and the half; the Bud Light Seltzer, which is the 5K and the 8K; and then the Stella, which is the 15K and the 8K. All 4 are great. And I promise you, we'll take good care of you while you're out there, and you'll be glad that you did it.
You have such a authority on all of this. You can tell you do it all the time because you can ramble off this challenge, that challenge. Somebody else might get tripped up on that information, Susan, but not you. I love that. I love the challenge jackets. Now, are any challenges open?
They are not. Everything is closed. The Bud Light Seltzer and the Michelob Ultra sold out prior to registration closing, but because it takes a unique timing protocol to time folks wearing the same number in multi-event races, we have to shut it down so we can get prepared for everybody. I will say, if someone, let's say they're registered for the 15K, the 5K, and the half marathon, and they would like to register for the 8K still, technically they are doing the Michelob Ultra Challenge. And if we have amenities left over post-race, then we will be more than happy to accommodate them.
Very kind, very appreciated. Okay, so we've got a question here from Laura, Spain. Early morning pickup again for the half marathon, correct?
Absolutely. We'll open it. Well, we start obviously on both days with expo hours, but on Sunday morning, we will be open at 4:30 at the Franklin Street entrance of the convention center for those folks that didn't make it to the expo. Their flights came in late. So both the half marathon and the 8K folks can pick up their packets then.
That's very generous. And that's a issue for a lot of races. There's always travel issues the night before. So
right.
Very kind. Our friends from Run Eat Drink podcast, Amy and Dana Costin, they are ready for our Runcation Nation. We've got Finish Line Engravers. They will be engraving the finisher medals. Where will that be, Susan?
They're going to be in the finish line area right after all of our post-race goodies. And Aaron and Chris are also going to be in the expo. So if you did not prepay for your finisher's medal engraving, you can take care of that at the expo, and they'll be waiting on you on both race mornings in the finish line area. Okay. And I'm told it just takes minutes. I mean, the engraving machine is calibrated just the way it's supposed to be, and they can get the engraving done in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, and I believe they put your name and then your finish time. Is that correct?
Correct. And we even have room on the back of the challenge medals so that they can do a name and a combined time.
Fair. I only have one medal that's been engraved, Susan. Boston Marathon, just one.
Well, hopefully we're going to be right up there with the Boston Marathon.
Heck yeah.
Not quite, but
I'll get a medal and I'll have them engraved like Noisiest or something on
there. You go. There you
go. And noise. We've got the Donna's race director who wanted to send her love to you.
Hey, Amanda.
Let's see. Oh, and we've got a little praise for our TikTok, our Racecation TikTok. Let's see. This is a good question from Laura. Will I get multiple bibs for the Mick Ultra Challenge, or is there just one for all of them?
There's just one. Until we figure this timing thing out with our timer, David Sims, you had to wear 4 individual bibs, depending upon the challenge, 3 or 2. And he has devised a program so that you only have to wear one bib, which is really a great gift to our participants. So yes, one bib for all four or two races.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because changing bibs or changing anything between race number 1 and number 2 for the day can be hectic. So
also for the challenges, Fitz, we have a metal drop-off zone at the base of the Platte Street Bridge. So if a runner is doing the 15K and the 5K, the half marathon and the 8K on Sunday, they can run the 15K, drop off their medal, go do the 5K, get their 5K medal, come back and pick up their 15K medal, and then the next day they can leave all of their medals, if they would like, at the medal drop zone. And after they do their final race, come back and pick all of them up so they can have them around their necks for everybody to see and for photos.
So how will they be earmarked as? So say I leave my medal there, how will they know it's my medal?
We put it in a little Ziploc bag with the runner's number on it. And, these medals can be a little sweaty. So we wear gloves, so we don't get us on the medals and the medals on us, but we do take very good care of them, and we take a great deal of pride of being able to offer that service to our participants.
Okay. Great answer. And then we have Becky wants to know, how do you know if you're getting a seated bib? I guess Becky's a speedster.
Well, Becky the Speedster, if you requested a seated bib, all of our seated bibs have a yellow a bar on them. So when you pick it up, your number, regardless of what race you're in, should have the yellow color bar across it if you're a seated number. If we for some reason ran out of our seated numbers, then we will put a red S, a sticker on the number to identify them as seed, so they can get into the front of each of the events.
And for the athletes out there who are unsure what seeding means, it's basically an opportunity to take people who have a propensity to win the entire race based on gun time. They get to start first, because even if someone at the back ran faster, they will not win. You have to be up front. You actually have to cross the finish line first to be the champion of these events. So
for the first 10 that cross the finish line, it's by sight. We do not go by the net time. It's all by gun time, and they'll be the winners. So like you say, even if you start further in the pack and you run a faster net time, you will not qualify to win the event.
Yeah, so that's what seeds are. So if you run slower like me, you don't have to worry about seeding. You just go where you're told. Now, will we have corrals, Susan? And are they organized in advance?
Absolutely. So for the 15K, we have 2 waves, only 2, but for the 5K, we have 5 run waves, and then we have the stroller roll and the walk wave that starts after that. We have a rolling start in the half marathon, but there are corrals for 2 hours and under and 2 hours and over. And then the same for the 15K, it's an hour and under and an hour and over. So yes, there are designated areas. You have been assigned a number based on your projected finish time for whichever event you're running, what you gave to us when you registered.
Okay. Great explanation. So let's go to Saturday morning, because I think the expo is pretty clear. People know you go get your stuff there, you do some shopping, you play some pickleball, you go meet Meb, buy his book. You can come meet me, check out my books. There's Pepper Jack. We got lots of fun things going. Expo, you can do the expo 2 days. In fact, you should do the expo both days. So Saturday morning, when do things kick off? What time can people do early bib pickup? And give us the information on the first race.
On Saturday morning, we actually open the expo, the bib number pickup part of the expo, earlier than we promote. So we open that up at 5:30, just for people that were not able to get there on Friday to pick up their number. We have a little a chute that allows them to go into the expo, not to the rest of it where the vendors are, but just to go and pick up their number and come right back out again. And then they'll come back after the event to pick up their shirt and their goodie bag. So that will start at 5:30 on Saturday morning, which gives those 15K folks a little bit more time to get to their 15K start, which is at 6:45. So please take advantage of that. The worst thing you can do on either race morning is not give yourself enough time to relax, come and maybe get some water, take your last pit stop before you get into the corrals to line up to run. Rushing around is no fun for anybody.
Yeah, in fact, it's interesting to me how many people are like, well, the race starts at 6. I'm going to get there at 6:45. Don't do that. And especially with a race like Gasparilla, is it's part of the experience. And if you come in late, you miss out on the hoopla. And we are all about the hoopla. When you get thousands of rowdy, piratey runner people together, we have a really good time. The start line is the only time race weekend where we are all together. Fortunately, we have 4 to play around with this weekend, but the start lines are really special. So if race start is 6:45, have your car parked no later than 6 a.m. Get there early. Now, Susan, where will they be parking?
There's lots of parking around the downtown area. And again, this information is on our website. There's a map that's a virtual map that can show folks exactly where the garages are. But again, once this blast goes out with our runner instructions, it's all going to be included in there. And just to tag on to what you said, Fitz, number one, you want to get there early to enjoy Fitz's playfulness, because she's going to be interacting and engaging with everybody before each of the events. But also, we have a permit with the city of Tampa, which means that we keep the roads closed for a allotted amount of time, and we need to respect that. And we ask our runners to respect that. So, for instance, the 15K starts at 6:45. By 7 o'clock at the latest, everybody will have crossed the start line. Once everybody has crossed the start line that was lined up appropriately, the start will be closed, and we will pull up the timing mats. The TPD tail vehicle will already have gone, so the runners will not be able to start the race. I can't stress that enough, because we are really, honestly, it's been taken advantage of in previous years, and we've got to honor what we're committing to doing as far as the city of Tampa is concerned.
Yeah, it's interesting. I use LA Marathon because it's the biggest race I announce. We get 27,000 people, and we start the race at 7 a.m. and it takes 25 minutes for the herd to cross the start line. So it's not only not getting there before 7, but then at 7:25, when all the runners are finally gone, there's a few people that come running up.
Yeah.
Can I go? It's like, where were you? Where were you?
And something to remember too, that once the race, particularly with the 5K, once the 5K starts at 9:15 and we start moving those waves forward, access to the waves stop. So anybody that comes after 9:10 is going to be forced to go to the rear of the event, which makes it even more important that you really, really take the time and plan to get there ahead of time.
Yeah, it's very important. So on time, tell your friends on your time. What if let's see. Okay, I'm looking at questions. Okay, so we start on Saturday morning, bid pickups like 5:30-ish at the expo, and then start time is 6:45. Do we have chairs for the 15K?
Chairs.
Wheelchairs.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You know what? We do have a couple of hand cycles, but not any on-road wheelers this year. The hand cyclists have become very prevalent in our event, so they will be there, but not any regular wheelers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they participating in all the events, or is there one race for that division?
No, that they're participating in 3 of the 4. I don't know about the 8K, but the 15K, the 5K, and the half, they've already identified themselves to us. We've got one gentleman, his name is Alex, that's doing the half, and he's disabled. He was hurt in the Iraq War, and he's capable of going 28 miles per hour in his hand cycle. Ordinarily, we will put a bike officer with the hand cyclist, particularly for the half marathon, because it's dark for the first half hour. But a bike officer is not going to be able to keep up with him. So we're going to have to put a motor officer in there.
How cool. How cool. Yeah, they look like Batmobiles to me. I always think they're very exciting to have at the start line.
And they go so fast, and it's just fun to watch, to see how quickly they can traverse the course.
All right, so we've got it's 15K Saturday morning, 6:45 start. Everybody should have likely crossed the start line before 7 a.m., so be there on time. And then they're going to head over to the finish line. They're going to go the long way. You and I are going to take the shortcut. When you get to the finish line, we're going to say this 4 times. When you get to the finish line, we expect you to celebrate the Gasparilla finish line. So hands go high, big smiles. It's illegal to look at your watch with a grouchy face. So that's a warning to all of our athletes. If you do this at the finish line, I will send you back and make you do it again. Right, Susan?
Correct. And remember, Marathon Photo is going to be snapping pictures up and down the course as well as at the finish line. And then after you get your finisher's medal, they'll have platforms for you. And we have some really cute pirates that are going to come in from the crew of Alegria and pose for pictures. So it is a celebration. We encourage everybody to enjoy themselves after they cross the finish line.
Absolutely.
Keep moving, but enjoy themselves.
That's right. Gather your medal, grab your snacks, and go to the finish lines festival where there's beer. Not a silly question at all, Brenda. We want everyone to wear pirate costumes because it's the invasion. This is the invasion of the pirate runners. But yes, I will be decked out in pirate gear because I can't help myself. Right, Susan?
Yep, you can't. And I tell you, Fitz has been after us to have a pirate dressing contest. So perhaps in 2024, we'll get that done. We just need to see a lot of activity out there so we know that it's worthy of our doing it. So put a show on for us this year.
That's right. And there's pirate costume rental places in Tampa because they laser focus on pirate gear. And then Amazon, you can get pirate gear anywhere. And I just posted a TikTok teaching you how to wear pirate gear. It's not very complicated. So we want everyone to dress up and have fun. Look at this. Hands up with you. Yes, I'll join you at the finish line. My pleasure. Yes, look at this. You're getting so much in support for pirate costumes.
Okay, I got it.
All right. So 15K, 6:45. When's the next race?
The first wave of the 5K goes off at 9:15. And then we have, like I said, we have 4 waves after that, 9:20, 9:25, 9:30, 9:35. And then our Kellogg's 5K stroller roll takes off at 9:45, followed by the Kashi 5K walk.
Okay, so that's an earful. So we've got a 2.5 hour gap for our 15K athletes to finish. They're usually all finished by about 2 hours, right, Susan?
Yeah, I mean, some walkers, it takes a little bit longer than that, but even folks that are doing one of the challenges, the Michelob Ultra Challenge, because we have so many different waves in the 5K, they can cross the finish line of the 15K and still get over to the 5K start for the Kashi 5K walk at 9:55, which is 3 hours, and still complete the required challenge distances.
Okay. So join us when you can. Hustle over. So if you're a challenged athlete, Susan, and you're crossing that first finish line, what is your to-do list?
Get that medal, get something to drink, get something to eat. If you would like to drop your 15K medal off at our medal drop zone, please feel free to do so. And then depending upon when you finish, head on over to the 5K start line. But most people will have plenty of time to kind of rest a little bit. It is, our temperatures this year, we're being told by Greg D at ABC Action News that we are going to get a little bit of a break in the humidity and the temperatures on both Saturday and Sunday mornings. I believe the starts are going to be 62, 63 degrees with lower humidity. The really 80, 81, 82, we'll be off the road by then. So we were fretting a little bit about the weather, but it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a break.
Yeah. So a reminder, it's Florida. So hydrating starts now. Don't wait until Saturday to start downing water or Gatorade or whatever you choose. Start drinking extra now. Your fruit is filled with water. Your veggies are filled. So hydrate now. And this is probably not a PR weekend. I mean, if it miraculously is, good for you, but come to have fun, go the distance, have fun. If you take a little longer, you get more bang for your buck on the course. There's no pressure to go fast. Take your time.
Speaking of the course, we've added cheering stations this year out on the course. We've got 2 crews. Of course, the Rough Riders will be there with their Krispy Kreme donuts. They're there every year. And then we have the crew of Henry Morgan, which is going to have a cheering station. They're bringing their float out in full costume out on Bayshore Boulevard. And then the Florida State Seminole Boosters Club from Tampa is going to be on course. So being a Tallahassee girl, I'm pretty excited about that. Sorry, all you Gators. I know, Fitz, you're one of those.
Hey, you know what? For that, I can say go Knowles. That's fantastic.
Okay. And then Star Wars characters will be out there. And, of course, we've got aid stations at every mile. We've got entertainment at every mile. This year it's going to be more of a festive experience, festive environment than it has been in previous years. We're excited about that.
That's exciting. You know what? I mean, we have a lot of serious runners and I give credit for them, but we have so many people just, it's athletic adventure. It's a racecation. They want to have fun, take photos out on the course. So I love that you're adding even more every year. It means a lot.
Well, we do our best to do better every year and to learn from the previous year because we're not perfect. We do make mistakes, and we take a great deal of pride and value in not repeating those same mistakes. So just know that we're doing our best when you're out there to present the best possible experience for everyone that's out there.
Okay, so one of the things we didn't touch on in the 5K, which starts at, is it 9:15?
9:15 is the first wave.
Yeah, so we briefly touched is it the last two waves or the stroller division, strollers and walkers?
Right. The Kellogg's 5K stroller roll, which Tony the Tiger starts, that starts at 9:45. And believe it or not, that's sold out this year. The Kashi walk, the 5K walk, which starts at 9:55, that's sold out. And what we're finding is a lot of our families, some of the adults will do the 15K and come and do the 5K with the rest of the family and vice versa. So that's the beauty of the way that the 15K and 5K timing is set up, that if someone wants to go out that's a little bit more competitive or wants to run a longer distance in the 15K but still enjoy the day with their families, they can do that in the 5K.
Yeah, and it's a really welcoming, fun environment. We were packed with people who love each other, people in matching outfits, and the strollers are pretty impressive. It's certainly the largest stroller division I see anywhere in America.
We were the first ones to start the stroller division, and it happened because every year we would get phone calls from parents saying, I really want to participate with my baby and the stroller. And we'd say, we don't allow strollers, but if you line up at the back of the pack, you'll be fine. On Monday morning after the race, we would get phone calls and emails from very unhappy runners saying there were not going to be any strollers in the race. So, you know what? We just decided it was time to acknowledge those folks and give them an opportunity to participate too.
Well, it's fantastic. And they were possibly the most celebratory last year. They were a good time.
Good. Well, we enjoy it too. It's a lot of fun to watch.
All right, so let's talk about gear check. There's a great question from Lauren. Is there access to bag drop between races? She wants to change clothes.
So our gear check room is in the Tampa Convention Center on the lower level. Meeting room 24, I believe, is the gear check room this year. And certainly it will open up very early on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. And if you need to go and change clothes, if you need to get something out of your gear check bag, if you checked it earlier in the morning, you can. Just make sure you have enough time to do that.
And gear check, for those of you who have never done this before, is a place to stash your stuff while you're running. So if you leave your car with a pair of sandals or a windbreaker or whatever, your lipstick, you can leave it safely in the convention center and then come back and get it. So you don't have to run with all of your things.
Well, and very often people that come on Saturday morning to pick up their gear, their goodie bags and what have you, they don't have enough time to go back to their car. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the start platform and somebody will walk by and say, "Would you hold this for me?" And we do our best to accommodate those folks, but really that's what the gear check room is there for. We're there for you. It's a secure setting. Anything that you leave in there, we're going to take care of. It's going to be there when you come back. So please take advantage of the opportunity. And we didn't have gear check last year because of COVID. So this is the first year that it's been back since 2020. It's there for you, and we hope you'll take advantage of it.
So fantastic. I also find it semi-pathetic when runners come through wearing backpacks and stuff. Like, oh, if you could have put it somewhere, that'd be great.
Really, it's a smidgen warm.
Yes, just leave it. Leave it all there. Okay, quick parking question. Do you know if they need parking reservations for the app, or is there free? Is it free for?
I wish it was free parking, but no, we're not. We're not doing the prepayment reserved parking in 2023. There is ample enough parking spaces in downtown Tampa for everyone. The Fort Brooke garage has 3,500 spaces, and I'm told by the parking department that garage never fills up. But so there are several around the convention center. Again, go to rungasparilla.com, pick your garage out. It's not free. They will be pre-collecting when you're going in. I don't recall right now what the parking rate is going to be, but it will be in our runner instructions when they go out.
Another traffic question. Will the exit off 618 be closed?
618, is that coming in from Brandon? Can you help me with that?
Lauren? Well, that
The
was
Kennedy, I will tell you that the Kennedy exit will be open. The next one, which drops you off on Broreen, will be closed, but you can get off on the Kennedy exit.
okay. All right. I'm looking. Sorry, I'm checking out the comments. First time, Joanna. We're really excited to have you. Okay, quite a few questions. Columbia Restaurant, are they?
Will be there. They will be on Sunday morning. They will not this year. They will be serving black beans and rice and 1905 salad and Cuban bread. They will not be doing paella this year. And we know some folks are going to be disappointed, but Columbia Restaurant, just like everybody else right now, is having trouble with staffing. They just do not have enough staff to leave the restaurant and come out to prepare the paella, because they do prepare the paella on site. Black beans and rice is a little bit less challenging. It's still the amazing Columbia Cuban fare, but they will be there for you. And Columbia will be on the front drive of the convention center for both the half marathon and the 8K participants.
That sounds very delicious. And your vegetarian announcer will be excited to score some of that when she's done yammering for hours on end. Okay, let's see. Lisa, yes, there is bib pickup Sunday morning. So I'm pausing you, Lisa. Saturday, there's a finish line festival. There's a party, there's awards. And it's the Q105 award ceremony, and we have the ABC Action News Military Challenge. Can you tell us about those goings-ons?
Yeah, the ABC Action News Military Challenge that's presented this year by West Shore Homes. We have a competition every year for those retired, former, and active members of each military branch. So, number one, there's a competitive division where we do present awards to the top 3 overall men and women, and then masters and grandmasters. But then also the military branch that registers the most participants is the recipient of the ABC Action News Warrior Challenge Award, which is coveted on an annual basis and displayed on MacDill Air Force Base for the winning branch. We are excited about that. And all the bib numbers for the folks that registered for the military challenge have a special brand on it with the American flag to designate who they are.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for doing that. I love our military. It's so nice to always give a special space for our service men and women. And then the Q105 party?
It's going to be a celebration. Excuse me. Greg White Band, which is a country western brand. He's going to be with us on both mornings. We have heard from folks every single year that the other band that we utilized in the past is good, but people love Greg White. They get out there and they dance and just have a blast. Of course, Michelob Ultra is going to be there providing the 1 12-ounce beer to all of our registered participants that are 21 years of age and over. Eulalie will be there sampling their hydration station beer. We've got the Zephyr Hills hydration station that will have water there. Very often people forget that they're thirsty when they get to the post-race celebration too, and they don't want beer. So Zephyr Hills Natural Spring Water has very graciously brought in their hydration station so folks can have water. It's just going to be a huge celebration combined with the awards presentation. And we're thinking about having a dance contest on stage. We always look for a fun way to give away those door prizes. And I think this year we're going to invite some folks to come up on stage and let their peers judge their dancing ability. So anybody that's brave and is looking forward to getting up there and dancing a little bit, we'll be looking out for you.
Love it. Love it. And folks, there's usually quite a bit of random prizes to give away. Last year, we had a mini dance contest in front, and I think most everybody walked away with a little something. So
yeah, anybody that comes up on stage is going to leave stage with something. We can guarantee that.
That's right. Put your ego aside for some extra swag. It'll be worth it for sure. And as far as the award ceremony goes, the Finish Line Festival is everyone's welcome over there. And the other thing I'm going to request is either go to the finish line celebration or come back to the finish line to cheer for the runners that are coming in after you. So you have 2 incredible places to be once you're done running and walking. So pick one and give it your all, or take turns. But yeah, don't go home. Don't go home right away. This is, again, this Publix Gasparilla Distance Classic thing. It has lots of hoopla, so stick around and
Well,
enjoy.
and too, Fitz, you did the Runcation TikTok video. There's lots to do in downtown Tampa, a ton to do in downtown Tampa. And even after the post-race celebration in Tony Jannus Park, the convention center has, I like to call it a beach bar called The Sail. It's right there on the water, and it's a great place to go and hang out and get something to eat, have a few beverages if you want to. So don't hop in your car and just leave right away. Enjoy yourself, relax, and revel in what you've accomplished with some of your fellow participants.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's so much fun to do. It's a very, very full day. Is there a great place for drop-offs that you would recommend?
No, the roads are closed around the convention center, so it's kind of difficult to get close. I would recommend probably being dropped off on the south end of Platt Street, and then walking in that way, or one of the road closures are going to be on the website here in a couple of days. So just look at that and then pick out your spot. But there's nothing, unfortunately, that's super close to the convention center and to the start lines and the finish line. Everything is shut down.
So Susan, I'm getting a couple of questions about switching distances. If someone has registered for 8K and they want to do the half or switches, is switching going to be possible?
It is possible, but it can only be done at the expo. And there will be a transfer fee, and that's because we have already prepared the personalized bib numbers for everybody. We have medals based on the folks that have registered for each distance. So just be prepared that there will be a nominal transfer fee to make that switch from one race to the other. But we'll be happy to accommodate you at the Health and Fitness Expo.
Yeah, and I have a couple other parking questions. The parking garages are not owned by the race, so you will pay for parking if you use one of the public garages.
The City of Tampa parking garages are going to be the most affordable. Any of the flat lots that are owned by 717, I hate to say that with my out loud voice, but they're going to be more expensive than the city garages.
Well, it's good information. Good information. And Chris, thank you for coming back over and over and over again. We like repeat customers, right? Okay, so Saturday, we have a busy morning. Spend Saturday afternoon. Again, relax, hydrate. You can do the expo. It'll be nice and cool inside. And then Sunday morning, let's start a Sunday. Oh, wait, pasta party Saturday night, or pasta dinner, I should say.
Actually, on Friday and Saturday night at Embassy Suites, it's from 5 until 7, and it's kind of serve yourself. They're going to put different pastas out there, different sauces, of course, salad, and it's make your own pasta. So it's from 5 to 7 at Embassy Suites, and I believe it's $22.95 per person, and then children are a little bit less than that. But check it out. And there'll be more information coming out about that too. Embassy Suites is our host hotel. They do a fantastic job for us and our participants.
Yeah, and the pasta dinners are always a great place to meet friends, other runners. It's an easy thing to do if you don't want to Uber out or go walking to another place. Just stay put.
Well, and birds of a feather. You might see some fellow runners wearing one of our parrot wristbands.
Now, are they getting parrot wristbands this year too?
They're going to be available in branded apparel for a nominal fee. We had a lot of requests for these after the race last year. People loved them, and they liked walking, even though that they were distributed because of COVID. Folks loved walking down the streets of downtown Tampa and seeing somebody else wearing one of these bands, because truly birds of a feather flock together. I hate to use that slogan. It's not ours, of course, but when you're wearing one of these, and when folks were wearing them last year, they knew that is a Gasparilla runner. They are doing the same thing that I'm doing. And it had a kind of a trickle down effect that we weren't expecting. And it was all positive.
Absolutely. And there's something you can wear every day. I have a race one that I wear every day. So let's jump to Sunday.
Sunday's a little bit earlier. As we've already mentioned, we'll be at the convention center at 4:30 for those folks that weren't able to pick up their packets and their bib numbers during the expo. The half marathon starts at 6 o'clock, bright and early. It starts this year, as was the case last year. We redesigned the course. So the finish line for the 15K, 5K, half marathon, and 8K is actually the start line for the half marathon. The runners will start at 6 o'clock. They'll run the first 5 miles on Davis Islands, and then they'll come off the island, go out Bayshore, and do an out and back, and come on back in. It's a great route, and one that everybody seems to be enjoying with the change on Davis Island.
And packed with entertainment again on Sunday.
Packed with entertainment. Yeah, we've got a fire eating juggler. But see, on Davis Island, people are still asleep at 6 o'clock in the morning, so we have to have very quiet entertainment. So there's a strolling accordion player, a strolling saxophone, fire eating juggler, little things like that we can entertain the runners with, but at the same time be respectful of those folks that are getting their beauty sleep.
Absolutely. And then do we have corrals for the half marathon?
There's 2 hours and under and 2 hours and over. Just
and
2.
Their bibs will tell the runners where they belong.
Yeah, they're different colors.
And the rule of thumb, folks, is say you're in the first corral and your BFF is in corral number 2. The polite thing to do with running is corral 1 can move back. You can move back in corrals, but it's not acceptable to move into a faster corral. So if you want to be together, just start a little further back. And everyone.
If I could speak to the corrals too, Fitz, our corrals are manned by volunteers. They are out there for the runners. They're out there to make sure the runners have a good time. And please remember that these folks are there for you, and they're trying to do their job. So if you're trying to get into a wave that you're not supposed to get into, and one of our volunteers says, "I'm sorry, please go that way," please listen to them. Don't give them a hard time. I'm being very, very serious about this. We would be grateful if you would treat our volunteers well, because they give of themselves very early in the morning to take care of you.
Absolutely. That's and thank those volunteers. Not only don't give them a hard time, but be appreciative of them. Tell them how much we love them.
Please. And most, runners are. They know. If one of our volunteer groups comes out one time, they keep coming back because of that. The runners are very appreciative.
Yeah, always. So race bibs go on the front side of your shirt. They don't belong on your back or your side. There's a couple of reasons we wear the race bibs. Number 1, so our course officials know you belong there. This is a race for registered runners. So if you're going to run, but you haven't registered, you just have to run somewhere else. They want to see that you belong here, that you've registered. And then also, because we have our great photographers there, the only way you'll find your photos is if your race bib is on the front and
not covered up. Yeah. And folks need to remember too, and you've stressed this before, Fitz, we do get some bandits out there. It happens every single year. Folks need to remember that the Publix Gasparilla Distance Classic running events are being run for youth charitable organizations. Every registration fee is more income for the organization, so that at the end of the year, after we've made taken care of all of our expenses, we're able to give away as much money as we possibly can. We take that very seriously. So if there's someone out there that is banditing, they're taking money away from our charities, and that's just the bottom line. So we ask that everybody be respectful of that. And while we don't want to pull anybody from the course, if someone is out there without a race number, there's a possibility that it could happen. So please don't create a embarrassing situation for y'all or for us.
So one of the things we have not covered is, besides the expo, will Meb be out on the course?
Meb's going to pop up here, there, and everywhere. He will be popping up. We have 4 halfway points on the course. Each of the distances has a Zephyr Hills halfway there location. That's primarily where you're going to find Meb when he pops up. And he will be popping up on both days. I mean, he's going to make his official appearances in the expo. He'll be high-fiving at the finish line at different times, but we will surprise folks and get him out there to be available for selfies and to talk to folks while they're running.
I do love the responses from people that are running by and they see him there. You're real. You're Meb. And if you're unfamiliar with Meb Keflezighi, look him up. He's an American Olympian, a medalist in the Olympian, but he's Boston Marathon champion, and he won Boston the year after the bombing. And it was just was a special thing for the whole country and the running community. And he is a very sweet man and a great leader within the running community. So don't be shy. Introduce yourself to Meb if
And
given
he
the
will
opportunity.
talk to you until you don't want to talk anymore. He's just a very, very gracious gentleman.
Yeah, he sure is. He's absolutely lovely. We have another special guest that's coming. Betty, tell everybody about Betty.
Betty Ashley. Yeah, I forgot about Betty. How do you forget about a 101-year-old? So, Betty Ashley is a woman that lives here in St. Petersburg, and she's been doing the race, actually doing the 5K for about 20 years until she was 99. When she turned 99, bless her heart, she began to have a little bit of a hard time traversing the 5K course. So, at the age of 100, we brought her in 2022 as the 5K Grand Marshal. Betty is still with us at 101 years old, and she's just as spry and exciting and fun as she's been all of her life. I think that's what's kept her alive for all these years. So she's going to be our 5K Grand Marshal again. So when y'all are going out on Bayshore, please keep an eye out for the convertible that Betty will be. She's teeny tiny, so she's going to be sitting in between two women. They're going to be hanging on her to her tight to make sure she doesn't fall out of that Mustang convertible. But she's excited about coming back with us, and hopefully folks are going to be excited to see her.
She's a doll. She's just so exciting. And you know what's great is Meb gets starstruck over Betty. Meb is like,
Yeah.
just thrilling
Yeah.
to see someone like that. She's the one we all want to be like, right? She's the goal. She is the goal. All right. We've had a couple of questions about the award ceremony. Now, a reminder, folks, everything we've said tonight is on the website. All the starting times are on the website, all the locations, all of the parking places, all of the swag, all of it is on the website. When typically will when will the award ceremonies take place after people start finishing each race?
We will kick off the program at 11 o'clock, and then around 11:30 is when the actual awards presentation will begin. And I want to share something with folks that will be winning the overall awards. In previous years, we've presented plaques at the finish line, great plaques to our overall award winners. And actually, I was driving to work one day last year. We personalize our age group awards. Every single one of them. There's over 600 are personalized post race and shipped out to our participants. But our overall award winners, they don't get personalized awards. So in 2023, we're going to give them a kind of a stand-in award, if you will. It's going to be a wooden medal that's big in the shape of the event medal that they're winning the overall award in. We're going to give that to them on race day, and then we're going to present them with personalized awards post race, so they can look for those in the mail. We're pretty pumped about that because it's just another touch that the Gasparilla Distance Classic Association is doing to make those folks and everybody else feel special.
Oh, it's very, very thoughtful. Folks, use the comment section. We're going to wind down in a few moments. Tell us what you're most excited about this weekend. We want to hear what you're eager to experience. Last year, we had Marco Cicchetto set a world record for fastest half marathon for a double amputee. Do we have any other surprise athletes coming in this year?
Not to my knowledge, but a lot of the time we don't find out until race weekend that they're there. They just don't let us know until they come in to pick up their packets. And in all honesty, we notice them and we approach them. And that's when we find out about who's who and who's doing what.
Yeah. So if you've got something interesting, perhaps share that. We've had a couple of great finish line proposals, which I always enjoy. I'm easy to find. If you've got a proposal you'd like to orchestrate, let me know. I'll root for you. I think if I'm there, your mate is more likely to say yes. This is just my thoughts. I get them to say yes. Literally everything. Allison's excited about everything. What are you most excited about, Susan?
Getting here. We start planning every single year, and this is honest. I mean, on Monday, February the 27th, we will start planning for 2024, and that's because we, the Gasparilla Distance Classic Association, takes very seriously making sure that everyone has a good time. So before we forget about the awesomeness of the weekend, we want to do a recap and make sure that everything that we did was top notch and first class, and what our runners have grown to expect from us. So my favorite part is just watching the weekend unfold, seeing all the smiles, seeing everybody having a good time and knowing what it took to get them there, both from their commitment, but also from the commitment of the Gasparilla board members, organizing committee members, the city of Tampa, and all of our partners. It takes a village to get this event on the road, and folks should never forget that.
Yeah, it's a monster that was built with love for sure, the best kind. Jessica, first time in this crazy, sign up for all 4 races. It's the theme race. So Jessica, I hope you're going to come in some skulls and black and white and stuff. We've got Melissa, first half. So I have my thoughts on people being nervous for race day. What about you, Susan? What do you think?
You know, I'm nervous for race day, so I can certainly understand that. And it's just important that you take a deep breath and just relax and have a good time. Don't go out too fast. Enjoy the sights, enjoy the people around you. We're going to have pacers out there for all 4 races. So take advantage of those and just have a good time. I mean, we've done everything that we can to ensure that you do have a good time. So take your time. Enjoy the sights. Bayshore Boulevard is beautiful. The waterfront is gorgeous. All of our aid station volunteers will be there to take care of you. There's just no reason for you to rush through it. Just have a good time and relax and make some memories.
Yeah, I totally agree. My thoughts are war is scary, cancer is scary, going the distance with a bunch of really fun people in a really beautiful place, not scary. So turn that nervous energy into excitement. You're going to have such a fun weekend, and then you're going to be able to, gloat about it forever. You're going to be able to go and say, I ran the Publix Gasparilla Distance Classic. And
it's a mouthful, Fitz. It's a mouth.
It is. My mouth will be broken by Monday, but that's okay. I'll let it break on Tuesday after we finish this show. Medals, photo ops, pirates, residents. Yeah, so much love. Oh, first time she participated was 1978.
Yikes. Wow, that was 46 years ago. Mercy.
That's a long time. Oh, and of course, there you go. Brenda supporting another athlete. How nice. Oh, any nutrition on course? Thank you, Lauren. I meant to ask this question.
Yeah, we have, for the half marathon, we'll have the energy gel out there from Gatorade, but we don't have anything out there other than the Krispy Kreme donuts for the Rough Riders have at the 5K. We do not offer any nutrition other than the energy gel for the longer distance runners, unfortunately.
And what about, is there anything besides water on the course?
There's Gatorade in the 15K. We have Gatorade. Oh, stop. We have Gatorade at miles 2 and 7. And then, of course, in the half marathon, we have Gatorade at every aid station. And the Gatorade will be first, followed by the water. So for those of y'all that are running, don't pick up this Gatorade and think it's water and pour it all over you because it's Gatorade. So we give you the Gatorade first so that you can wash that down with some water.
But what Susan really wants you to say is every time you do drink Gatorade, you cheer. Go Gators.
Yeah. Okay.
Except for that one station where you say go Knowles. There you go.
Yeah, it will be out here in garnet and gold. Trust me.
That's right. Is there anything that we have missed, Susan?
I don't think so. We are introducing this year supporter medals. I think folks that have gotten our blast have heard about those. So this year we're doing replicas of all of our finishers medals, and they're called supporter medals. So folks can purchase these medals ahead of time. We'll have them for them at the medal drop zone for the challenge medals. So when they cross the finish line, they can go over, if they've purchased a supporter medal, just like theirs for the 15K, 5K, half marathon, and 8K, they can go to their friend or family member who has supported them while they've been training and put it around their neck and say, because of you, I crossed the finish line. So that's something that's brand new. And we know that there's a lot of folks out there that they cook meals for the runners or they do laundry for their family members so they can go out and train. And certainly they're out there on race day to support them. So this is a way to just take it a step further and say thank you.
That's really innovative. I love it. Bravo. Very cool ad. And then what about Pepper Jack? Where will we find Pepper Jack? Pepper Jack is right up there. That's our mascot, PJ.
Pepper Jack's going to be everywhere. He'll have some official appearances in the expo that will be posted, but he'll also be popping up here, there, and everywhere. And when Pepper Jack is not available. We've got some backdrops of Pepperjack with one of his wings out, so you can stand like Pepperjack is putting his arm around you. And we even have a kneeling Pepperjack for little ones to have their pictures taken with too. And don't forget about the runner wall that will be on display in the expo. Every registered participant's name will be featured on this runner wall. And when you think about 19,000 names, that's a lot of wall to get everybody listed on there. So please go into the expo and find your name on that runner wall.
I love it. And as Susan's talking about all these cool opportunities, we'll all have our photos out, taking lots of selfies, lots of group pictures. When you upload them to social media, tag us at Run Gasparilla. Use our hashtag Run Gasparilla. When you do that, it creates a family photo album on Instagram or on Facebook. So you can actually use the hashtag, search hashtag Run Gasparilla on Instagram, and then everybody's photos will pop up. And I love getting to see everybody else's fun pictures. And sometimes I show up in them. It's a good way to go. And of course, it helps spread the word to all of the other runners on Earth that the Publix Gasparilla Distance Classic is worse.
Very often they show up in our recap video. So we enjoy those pictures, and we love when you share them with us, because that tells us everybody's having a good time, and that's important.
Yeah, yeah. So as we close down, I'm going to start by saying I'm excited to see you. I will be at your start and finish lines. I'm your noisy race announcer, and I'm grateful to serve this fine organization that brings me to the most incredible people on Earth. I'm absolutely excited to get to you. I hope you show up with happy faces. I'm often in the finish line shoot. If you need a hug, I'm happy to offer one. And I really genuinely mean it. Please celebrate your accomplishments. Hands up high, smile big. If you're not going to celebrate yourself at a finish line, when else are you going to do it? So make this weekend the best it can be. Susan?
I just want to close out by saying how much the Gasparilla Distance Classic Association appreciates our participants and all the support that we get. And know that we're out there for y'all race weekend. If you see someone wearing an event staff shirt, please go up and if you have any questions, approach them about it, pat them on the back, say, even we can do this better. We want to hear from y'all. We want to know what your experiences are. Very good experiences, or maybe some that weren't quite as good, so we can improve upon it. So just know that we're out there for you to answer your questions and to take care of you. We always feel if one person walks away feeling like they have not been well taken care of, that we have not done our jobs properly. So we are going to do our best for you, and we expect to hear from you that you had a great time.
Quick question. What was the first year of Gasparilla?
1978. That young lady ran the first one in 1978, February the 13th, 1978. We've got five guys that are left that have done all of them.
Wow. Legacies. Yeah, we should. I'm hoping to know who they are. Hopefully I'll be able to find them. Folks, start hydrating now. Have safe travels to Tampa. And yeah, we're excited to see you. Show up with smiles on your face, and all the answers are on the website. Again, rungasparilla.com. I know they're peppering you with all sorts of emails, and you can replay the show over and over and over. So if you have a question, know that the answers are already there. We want this woman to stay busy doing all the things she needs to do to get ready for this monster race weekend. Thank you, Susan.
Thank y'all. Thank you so much. And I apologize for the technology issues at the beginning. We'll do better. Everybody have a good night.
And we'll see you Monday night for the recap. Bye, team.
Bye-bye.